Alright, hey guys, Pax, welcome back to another Pokemon Pocket video. In this deck showcase, we're going to be going over Umbreon EX. Now, this card is literally Cyrus, but as a Pokemon card. It's Cyrus reincarnated into a Pokemon, and yeah, this guy is very fun to use, especially paired with, of course, Greninja right here. This is a deck right here, and as you can see, 2 Sylveon EXs, so you're going to be outdrawing your opponent most of the time. Greninja, amazing chip damage, and Umbreon, this good pairing with Greninja. In a turn, you're doing basically 100 damage. Greninja pair with Umbreon, 120 if you have 2 Greninjas out. But yeah, this is your first video on my channel. I highly suggest liking and subscribing so you don't miss out on Pokemon Pocket content. Also, a little disclaimer, but I do have a slight fever, so yeah, excuse me if my voice sounds kind of different compared to my previous videos. But without further ado, let's get right into the deck showcase. Alright, here we are in our first battle. Going second, we are going against the Lugia EX deck. And again, if you guys are new to my channel, how these deck showcases usually go, I'm going to do at least 3 battles. First battle is a solo battle just to get the feel for the deck, and the next 2 are PvP. Okay, this is pretty good. This is ideally... Alright, so all we really need is either Sylveon. We need one of the evolutions, and we're pretty much set. Kinda sucks, but at the same time, Eevee, look at this. Find a friend, pretty good. We also have Silver in the deck. So Silver gives you some good insights. As you can see, he has 4 cards. They're all trainers. Wow. Okay, interesting. So at this point, honestly, I might get rid of... I feel like Sabrina might mess this up, so I'm going to remove Sabrina. Goes back into his deck. Could easily top deck it, but we shall see. Find a friend. Any evolution would be good. Perfect. Wow, okay. So he did top deck Eve. He top decked Sabrina. Okay. Okay. Wow. Good for you. Okay, right now, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to evolve Umbreon right here. Beat his Eevee. Greninja, just maximizing his chip damage. I'm gonna target this guy. I'm gonna target this hoe because he's eventually gonna sub out. Because yeah, looking at his hand, he has 2 Leafs, so you can easily just sub in that hoe eventually. So it'll be huge if I can get a Sylveon. Perfect. Okay, this is amazing. Interesting. He used Pokeball but didn't place anything. Okay, interesting bot. So this is the ideal setup right here. Sylveon EX, essentially Professor's Research. It'll be huge if I can get a Professor's Research from this. Just drawing so many cards. X-Speed. Pokeball. Okay, that's pretty bad. But nevertheless, we can just do this right here. This is the ideal setup right here. So Umbreon EX, Greninja, Sylveon EX, and then your last one, you want to start building your next Umbreon EX because this guy might die eventually. He probably will. So towards the late game, you kind of want another Umbreon out. So for now, might as well just do this. I'm not really maximizing his ability just yet, but this is good once after he tries retreating. All right, so yeah, he leaves. Interesting. Is he going to place his basic down? Because I'm pretty sure he has a... He might have a Lugia. Oh, never mind. He has Magby. Okay. Getting pretty bad RNG. But this is pretty good. For decks like this, where like you have to build up your opponent has to kind of build their bench. Look at this. So, I might as well just... Next turn, I basically win. There's really nothing he could do. Alright, next turn I should be good. It should be GG. So, it's attack. And then next turn, doesn't even matter, dude. If Umbreon dies, Greninja will just avenge him. Just hitting that Magpie. Which is why... With Greninja, like, if your opponent has, like, a baby Pokemon in their bench, that's just, like, easy real estate. That's free real estate. Yeah, just 2 turns, and then baby Pokemon will die, so it's pretty good. Alright, yeah, so Umbreon is dead, but it doesn't even matter, man. There's really nothing he could do. Just got pretty bad RNG overall. We did as well, because during this time, usually you want to have most of your cards drawn. Because as you can see, I've drawn 0 Professor Researches, so if I drew 1, I would have been a lot more built than I would be, but this is alright. So if you're in this scenario, say if I wanted to, I could start building my second Greninja next turn, but for now, just GG, man. Magpie, Magpie, whatever your name is. There you go. So yeah, a lot of potential. This deck has a lot of potential, and we shall see how it performs in PvP. Alright, here we are in PvP going first. Alright. Also a clear problem with this deck. You guys probably realized it already. Lucario kind of counters this deck. Because, I mean, Greninja could do some chip damage to Lucario, but depending on your opponent's deck, they could very much just out-heal you. So with that being said, I mean, yeah. Granted, I mean, it really depends on your RNG, because there's a lot of players that don't use Lucario decks. Like, it's still rather prominent in this meta, but not too huge. In my opinion, it's not as crazy as the Silvally meta, where like every other deck you just be going against Silvally. It's not as crazy as that. So you could still see some viability, especially since there's a high prominence with non-Lucario decks. So you have a slight chance of winning, but at the same time, it's rather risky. And speaking of risky, what am I looking at here, dude? Okay, damn. I might as well do this. So, Greninja, you're out. I might as well evolve, hoping that I can get... Please, give me an Eevee. I need an Eevee, because this guy is pretty scary once he evolves. Pokeball, Umbreon. Okay. Eevee, please. Oh, I just need 1 Froakie, so... Yes, okay, perfect. This is good. We also have XP, which is perfect. So, for now, kind of obvious. Building up for that guy. Attacking Slugma. And in silver just to see what he has. What does he have? Okay, PC Lady, Iono. Ooh, gosh. Tempted, dude. Because I think this should be good. Yeah. Let's go with this. Why not? Kind of scary because I don't want him to Iono. I really don't. Granted, he might have not that turn. But at the same time, I don't want to risk it. Okay, yeah, Mag Cargo. Ooh, could be worse. But we have a chance. We definitely have the chance. Just to kind of spread out the damage. Ideally, you do want to have Eevee out for your fourth Pokemon. But I'm just gonna put Froakie. This will either help me out tremendously or lose me the game. So we shall see. For now, we can just do this. And Magcargo should be dead next turn, which is pretty good. If not, then I basically lost. Okay, Umbreon doing what he does, 100 damage in total, gonna be at 40 HP. He can't really out-heal that, but at the same time, if he gets 50 on this guy and like 100 on one of these two, then I basically lost. All right, here we go. All right, I'll take it. Nice. Okay, GG. Yeah, I'm thinking of making a Magcargo deck eventually, but in my opinion, I heard it's very good, but at the same time, I have basically a 100% win rate using Magcargo, like going against this card. So it's really up to RNG, but look at that. Umbreon Dominance going against a very, very meta deck apparently. And yeah, this is pretty good. It really depends on your opponent because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of battles where you won't use Dark Chase depending on your opponent's deck. But nevertheless, you're still doing 100 damage in a turn, which is very nice. All right, next battle, going second. Ideally, you do want to go second. Going first is just so awkward with these types of decks. It's very similar to Savali. If you run a Savali deck, you don't want to go first unless you're running Zeraora. Oh, perfect. This is very perfect. Going against Ho EX, this is very good. All right. This guy's gonna be a prick, but it doesn't even matter. Kinda. We'll see if it matters. Okay. Yeah. Well, at least he knows what I have because of silver. But this is pretty good, so we can just do this. Nice. Okay. Find a friend, please. Give me a friend. Ideally, Umbreon. We can just chill with this for now. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, next turn I evolve into Umbreon. Greninja. There's no way, right? There's no way he has a Mars. Okay. Alright. This guy is getting on my nerves. 2 red cards. Ooh. Okay. Running 2 red cards. I am bewildered. But it doesn't even matter, man. He tried putting me down, but you can't keep Johnny down. RNG is on my side, not doing as much damage as I could, but at the same time, next turn, Sylveon is out, and then hopefully Greninja. There's no way he Marses me, right? And there's no way. Iono, fuck off. Okay. All right. Oh. Okay, RNG is really on my side. So I still have a chance to get... Okay, so I got Sylveon out next turn. Greninja. This game really wants me to win. I appreciate it, game. All right, this is pretty nice. So Sylveon, give me a rare candy, and I basically won. There's really nothing he could do against me. Okay. Thank you, man. This is... I'll be honest, I got shafted very hard in this booster set, so this is the game just making amends with me, being like, I'm sorry. This is... Yeah. Really do like this. So now, as you can see, I can start building the second Umbreon. So if this Umbreon somehow dies, I can just sub him in. And looking at this, the main threat in his deck right now is Lugia. But at the same time, looking at Ho, I can just one-shot. So I can just do this. So I could either Dark Chase, get Lugia out, and just mess him up significantly. But this equally does it. Like, this is the same thing. But I get a point. So this is probably better right now. But let's say Ho can attack next turn. I could just sub in this Lugia, and then just beat him up. And then he's either forced to, like, use his energy, or to use like a retreat. Yeah, this guy must be fuming, man. But I don't care, man. That's what you get for using 2 red cards and then trying to Iono me as well. Yeah, RNG was on my side. You really couldn't do anything, man. I have plot armor. All right, next battle, going first. Okay, so this is pretty good. Very scary because, yeah, ideally for your first hand, you don't want to have Froakie. If you have Froakie, then he's going to be inactive, and the only way to retreat from him is either feeding him manually or X-Speed, and that's pretty bad. If you don't have X-Speed in your first or second turn, then it's going to be huge trouble for you. Oh gosh, Nihilego. Yeah, see, as you can see, very awkward going first. Yeah, he can very much just red card me and get insane value. All right, next turn. Perfect. So we're just going to chill like this. Honestly, this is probably a very hard counter for this deck because doing Cyrus really doesn't do much. I mean, you could still do some damage. Like, you could just do 100 damage to that Pokemon. But look at this. If I do this, and just sub in Guzzlord. Evolve Eevee and just sub in Guzzlord. It doesn't really matter because again, Celesteela, literally a free retreat. So if he wanted to, he can just retreat back. But at the same time, that could help him out in the long run. So for now, might as well just chill like this. Guzzlord is out. Can do Grindcore, but I believe, man. I got main character plot armor on. He's gonna get Tails. Just, yeah, no question. Look at that. See? He's gotta believe. This game's all about coping. You gotta have hope and cope. And looking at this, all right. So we're just gonna chill like that. Silver, let's see what you can mess me up with. So he has Lusamine. Okay, Lusamine could help him out later on. All right, yeah, for now, we're just gonna chill like this. So let's do that. This is pretty good because as soon as we can kill Guzzlord, if my Umbreon survives a turn after killing this Guzzlord, then I can just use Greninja, sub in Nihilego, and then just one shot. So, all right, so this is pretty good. Now, I just have to pretty much just start building my next Eevee. Beats Guzzlord, but it's futile. It is futile because you can't go against me, man. Yeah, I have literal plot armor, dude. This is totally not staged. I have no idea who Painful is. He's my... sounds like an abusive uncle, but okay, yeah, there's really... damn. Partially RNG, but at the same time, he could have still won if he played it a little bit smarter, but at the same time, look at that. Umbreon dominance, man. He's so good even without the ability. Just doing 100 damage that second turn is pretty nice. The only main downside is it is an EX, so you could get more value just running a Savali deck. But yeah, let's see how this deck performs in ranked. All right, here we are in ranked. Going first. Crap. Okay, this might be... We're gonna have a very interesting time. So for now, of course, let's do this. I'm gonna play this risky, so I do want to kind of see what he has. All right, so I could very much Professor's Research, but I'm gonna do something that could potentially backfire if he does red card me. But at the same time, he's not really getting any value because look, I have 3 cards after this. So I'm gonna Silver and then save my red Professor's Research for next turn. Just looking at what he has. All right, so his hand could be a little bit better. He basically just needs Solgaleo out, so might as well just, yeah, remove this. Again, you can only remove supporter cards, but again, you're getting some pretty good knowledge early game. Okay, so you got a Pokeball. He still needs to get Solgaleo, so this is pretty good. At the same time, okay, he does put an Eevee down. This deck he's using is pretty meta relevant. All right, next turn, yeah, he didn't red card, which is pretty good. Also, we would have known if he would, just by looking at his hand. All right, so this is very nice. We can get our whole setup out pretty much relatively fast. Yeah, going against this deck, you kind of want to outspeed him pretty much. That's pretty much how you want to play this deck. So, especially against Solgaleo, because Solgaleo can be relatively fast. This will be huge if I can get X-Speed versus Research. Okay. All right, I'm going to do this. Could backfire in the end. But, okay, it's really up to his hand. So, if he pulls that Solgaleo, that'll be huge value for him. If not, then I'm going to get a huge advantage. But he has a high chance. With that Sylveon, could pair that with a Professor's Research that he might draw. Okay, yeah, Professor, please, man. Is my plot armor finally wearing off? Okay, so he Communicationed. I don't think he has it. Okay, yeah, he didn't evolve. Holy crap. I won. I actually won. So, okay, Professor's Research, if I don't get... I basically win if I get a Greninja. Okay, no Greninja, but at the same time, I could evolve into Umbreon, but I feel like in this given scenario, evolving to Sylveon will help me out tremendously, because I just need a Greninja, and I can just pull him in and then just mess him up tremendously. So, hey, all right, look at this. Oh, yes, this is so satisfying. So as you can see right here, he just needs to evolve into Solgaleo, and if he does, I pretty much lost. It's going to be super hard for me to win, but look at that. Because of Umbreon, again, being basically a Cyrus, I could have just subbed in that Cosmog and messed them up, and he knew it. He knew it, and you're going to get a lot of people like that. As soon as you get this combo out and they're not built, they're just going to concede because there's really nothing he could do. And yeah, that's basically the Umbreon EX deck in a nutshell. And yeah, that's the Umbreon EX deck showcase. Overall, a lot of fun. You're going to have a lot of fun using this card, especially with the ability, because again, of course, the ability is essentially a Cyrus, and the ability is so much fun, especially if you can pair it with Greninja's ability. So overall, a lot of fun. Again, the only main downside is if you go against Oricorio, you're pretty much screwed. There's really nothing you could do aside from counting on Greninja's ability to clutch you the game, which is pretty hard to do depending on the circumstances. If you want, you could very much just add Nihilego. This card right here, pretty nice card. Basically can do 50 damage after attacking, but it's really up to if you're going against Oricorio, because if you're not, then this is a pretty solid deck overall. Honestly, I'd probably rate this deck A+ tier. Like from A to A+, around that area, because it's pretty good, but at the same time, Oricorio pretty much hard counters this. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want more. As you can see, my voice is fading. I'm actually recording this outro several hours after recording the battles, and I'm currently dying right now. So yeah, please like and subscribe to save my life. It really does help me out a lot, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Peace.